Hey everybody, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going deep on natural hair. We're going to be looking at 10 ridiculous beliefs about natural hair.
Okay.
And we're going to try to bust some myths.
Sounds good.
So have you ever heard somebody say that natural hair is unprofessional?
Yeah.
Or that it can't grow long?
Uh-huh.
We've got some great research
Huh?
that we're going to be looking at today. And we also have with us a hair expert to help us break it all down.
Yeah, so these beliefs about natural hair are super interesting because they can really have an effect on people's lives and even their careers.
Oh.
And it's really interesting how many of these beliefs come from Eurocentric beauty standards.
Okay.
You know,
I see where you're going.
the idea that straight hair and European features are like the ideal.
Right.
So
That makes sense. So let's jump right into it.
let's do it.
The first belief that we're going to look at is natural hair is unprofessional.
Okay. Well, I mean, really? I'm sure you've heard that one before.
Oh, yeah, definitely. What is the deal with that?
Well, sadly, it really comes down to discrimination.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people with natural afro-textured hair,
Uh-huh.
they face bias in the workplace.
Really?
Even if it's unconscious, people might see them as less competent or
Wow.
less put together
Just because of their hair.
just because of their hair texture.
Yeah. It's pretty disheartening.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder how much of that is tied to the idea that straight hair is the standard of beauty.
Right.
I mean, you see that everywhere.
That message is everywhere, and it goes way beyond just hair.
Right.
It really affects people's self-esteem, and, you know, it makes people feel pressure to conform.
Right?
Like they're constantly being told that their natural self isn't good enough.
Yeah, you're not good enough. You got to straighten your hair.
Exactly.
So how about this one? Natural hair doesn't grow long.
Oh, that's a classic.
I've seen some pretty long natural hair.
Yeah, me too.
What's going on with that?
So that's a total myth. Afro-textured hair absolutely can grow long and healthy.
Okay.
The curl pattern might make it look shorter,
Uh-huh.
but the growth potential is there.
I see.
You know, hair growth is cyclical,
I mean,
and while the curls might make it look shorter,
yeah.
the strands themselves can actually get really long
Interesting.
with the proper care.
Hmm.
And in fact, there are studies that show that on average, afro-textured hair grows at a similar rate to other hair types.
Okay, so it's not that it doesn't grow, it's just the way that it...
It's just that the curls
There.
make it look shorter.
Gotcha. Okay, this next one is frustrating.
Okay.
Natural hair is messy or unkempt. I don't even know what messy means. I mean,
Right.
what are they talking about?
Yeah, it's all about perception, you know, and
Okay.
it often comes down to cultural differences.
Okay.
You know, natural hairstyles like afros,
Oh.
twists, or locks can be really intricate
Right.
and well-maintained.
Yeah.
They require a lot of skill and time. But because they don't fit that conventional Eurocentric idea of neat or controlled, people might see them as messy.
I see. So you're saying that it's not actually messy.
Right.
It's just
That's just a different
cultural
standard.
standard.
Okay.
What are some examples of traditionally neat hairstyles
Yeah.
in cultures that celebrate natural hair?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, like the intricate braiding styles in a lot of African cultures, those styles can take hours to create.
Wow.
And they're considered super sophisticated and beautiful. They're often worn for special occasions, and they're a symbol of pride and cultural heritage.
Okay. So
Really.
really what you're saying is that it's not that the hair is messy. It's just that we're looking at it
Exactly.
through a different cultural lens.
It's all about perspective.
Gotcha. Okay. This next one is kind of crazy.
Okay.
Relaxed or chemically treated hair is more acceptable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like
Yeah.
saying your natural self isn't good enough.
Right, exactly. This belief really pushes the idea that you need to change your natural hair texture
Right.
to be presentable or polished.
You got to fit in.
Like natural hair in its natural state is somehow lacking and
Yeah.
needs to be fixed.
Wow. Like a rose needs to be painted blue to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, what about this one? Natural hair is inappropriate for special occasions. Have you ever felt pressure to kind of conform to hair standards for special events?
Oh, absolutely. It happens all the time.
Really?
There's so much pressure to straighten your hair
Yeah.
or wear wigs for things like weddings or graduations. And it really reinforces the idea that natural hair
Yeah.
isn't elegant or sophisticated enough
Right.
for those settings.
Have you ever had that?
You know, for me, I remember feeling like I had to straighten my hair for my graduation,
Wow.
you know, to fit in and look presentable.
Interesting.
It took me a while to realize that my natural hair is beautiful and appropriate for any occasion.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you came around. Okay, let's look at this one. Natural hair is hard to manage.
Okay.
I got to admit, sometimes I think it is, especially when I'm trying a new style or something.
Right.
What do you think?
Well, it's a common stereotype, and it can really discourage people from embracing their natural texture.
I see.
While natural hair might need a different care routine, it's not necessarily more difficult to manage than any other hair type.
Right.
It's all about finding what works for you.
Okay.
You know, there are so many resources and products now that can help people learn about their natural hair.
I see. So it's not necessarily more difficult. It's just
different.
different. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, how about this one? Certain hairstyles are uncivilized.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, what are we? Back in the 1800s.
I know. It's sad, but this belief persists.
Okay.
You know, hairstyles like Bantu knots, cornrows, or
Right.
dreadlocks,
Yeah.
which hold cultural significance. For a lot of people, they're sometimes labeled as unprofessional
Wow.
or inappropriate, even uncivilized.
I don't even know what that means.
Right.
It's amazing how these things persist.
I know.
Okay, natural hair is a political statement. I mean, sometimes it can be. Statement of self-love
Right.
or whatever. But it's not always about making a political stand.
Exactly. It can just be a personal choice, a
Right.
cultural expression, or even a fashion statement.
Yeah.
It's not always about politics.
Okay, so just because somebody has natural hair doesn't mean they're trying to make a statement.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, last one.
Okay.
Hair must be hidden under wigs or extensions to look professional. Come on.
What?
Do you?
Think about that.
You know, this belief diminishes the beauty and versatility of natural hair.
Okay.
Wigs and extensions can be fun
Yeah.
and stylish,
Sure.
but they shouldn't be seen as necessary to
Right.
enhance or cover up natural hair.
Right.
Natural hair is stunning and professional
Yeah.
in all its forms.
It's like saying a masterpiece needs to be framed to be appreciated.
Right?
Well, I think we've busted all 10 myths.
I think so.
So what have we learned today?
I think the biggest takeaway is that we need to challenge these beliefs. You know,
Yeah.
how can we promote a more inclusive understanding
Yeah.
of beauty in our own circles?
I like that.
What can we do to celebrate
Yeah.
the diversity of natural hair?
Those are great questions. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And to everyone listening, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep rocking your natural hair with confidence.